Hello everybody, my name is Tim Lee. Welcome to another Draw Too Much lesson here on my channel. Definitely a fun topic talking about noses. I want to do a continuation of the previous video talking about looking for the roundness in the nose. It's really important that you understand where you can utilize lines and outlines and where you have to work it in with shadow, or if you're drawing in black and white, just to understand how to make something look like what you're drawing without having to utilize shadows to make that happen. Because oftentimes in caricature, we're drawing black and whites with no detail, no shading, no anything, and all we have to go on is just our outlines. So how do you take something that's a 3D nose and requires skin tone, and you turn it into something that fits in a black and white caricature? That's something we'll talk about in a future video, but in this video, I want to demonstrate to you another thing, and that's the idea that how important it is to understand the idea of shadow in color. If you can't see that, then you're going to have a very difficult time in drawing caricatures. So what I'm going to do first is very quickly here, in the little amount of time I have, I'm going to just do some quick selection tool stuff to the nose here, and I'm literally just coloring in the values around the nose here, trying to just kind of select the color in the general area here. And as we do more of this, hopefully it'll show a little bit more clearly the detail I'm trying to explain to you. So what you need to look for as an artist is where the highlight and the shadow hit on someone's face, and when you're looking at a neutral skin tone, or when you're looking at something that's being hit by light in an over-exaggerated form, or when you're going to be hit by light in something that's shadow in something that's an over-exaggerated form. In my personal opinion, you got three forms of light. You got the standard light, you got the standard color, which is kind of what the natural skin tone is under just a calm lighting condition. Then you have where the sun is really attacking the skin and showing its highest point of light, which would be your highlight, and then the darkest point, which would be your shadow. So I got this roughly colored in here. I'm just doing a little bit more here, and then I'm going to do some very quick just very quick toning to this, so we can look at it in a bit more of a fuzzy way. So we'll do that just so I can kind of demonstrate here my point. Let me do another layer quickly behind this. I know, I'm sounding confusing. Sit with me here just a second. It might make a little bit more sense in a minute. I'm going to turn off my background here, and I'm going to turn off my top outlines here. And you can see that we have this shape of a nose here in many different colors. But you may notice that some of these tones in this image are not far apart from each other. They're not really defined from each other. Some of this area on the bridge could roughly be about the same tone. If I come up here to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I Gaussian blur up wrong layer, and I Gaussian blur up this nose a little bit, things will start to really blend together, and it may start looking a little bit more like a nose in form. So there we go. And if I hit OK, now you can start to see kind of a 3D nose kind of sticking out there. Here's the point that I'm trying to make. The areas where the lines are the deepest, see in the shadows down here underneath the nose, the corner creasing up the side. I know I'm using a humongous, there we go. This creasing up the side here, these are the areas where you want to consider putting outlines. The areas where outlines are going to be the most key to get you an understanding of a caricature. Everything else is down to highlight and shadow, and in many cases you might not get that opportunity to utilize that technique, but when it comes down to color you can, but you don't always have that opportunity. So in this case, doing something like this to kind of get these lines to pop, that's going to be where your caricature is going to begin doing its thing, where it's going to begin getting that form. Everything else where the colors blend, you don't touch unless you're doing color. But if you're trying to get the basic caricature of a nose, this is how you would do it. And it's not that, oh, I'm going to color over it, I'm going to find... No, what you're looking for is you're looking for where does color make a heavy-duty change? When does this normal skin tone suddenly turn into a deep tone. That's where I need to put my outlines. And you see that in laugh lines, like I said in my previous video. You see that in eye lines. You see that on the side of the face, where you got the side of the face and then you got back background. That's where you put your outlines. Those are the areas where we focus on outlines. Eyelashes are a natural outline of the eye. That's why people use mascara and things like that. Anyway, that's another continuation of that part of the video. I hope that it helped you a little bit. And excuse me, certainly we have a long way to go as we continue to look at definition of the face and make things pop a little bit. This is also a great tutorial for people who are dealing in the world of painterly kind of caricatures or portraits. This is the technique that you would use when you're painting a real portrait. So there you go. There's some food for thought for you guys. Don't forget, leave a comment down below. I want to start reading your comments at the end of my videos. Don't forget, I record several videos at the same time, so if you do not see your comments in the next video, give it a couple videos, because we record several in a single day and they upload throughout the week. So we do 2 a week, as much as humanly possible. Right now we're trying to get a video out every Tuesday and Friday. If you're part of our Patreon account, I would love it if you join us on Patreon. You can see videos as early as 3 or 4 days early before they release, which is super cool. We love basically when we put out a new video on Friday, we release a new video on Patreon on Tuesday that won't be released until Friday. So that's we're trying to make sure that you guys can enjoy that a bit more. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me on Patreon. And of course, if you're interested in sending your picture for us to use in our tutorials, you can do that at drawmetim@gmail.com. There's a little legalese behind it if you want to see what that legalese is, considering that we also want to use these and possibly either sell guides or sell graphics made from these images. There is a little legalese, and you can see the video that I'm going to include over here in the cards on that side of the video, way over there, and you can check that out, okay? Thank you so much for watching today. Hope that you did enjoy this little tutorial as we continue to look at noses, and we got more coming your way. See you next time.